So I'm going to revisit this Splatrball. This is the SRB 400 sub, I believe. Going to revisit it. Going to make some adjustments, kind of do some different things to it. Seems like a lot of you guys like this one, so thought I would go ahead and see what I could do, making some adjustments with some new 3D printed parts. So first off, I printed this new rail, so the blue pieces will get removed. This will go here. Not sure what color I'm going to paint this stuff yet. Since I'm probably going to leave this blue, and even the magazine blue, I'll look for a color that coordinates. I will probably leave that color gray too, because taking that off is not super easy. If I can get it off easy enough, maybe I will find something different. We will see. So that's kind of the plan there. Now, I did have the original battery door, and all I'd done was put a rail on it, which worked okay. But again, I want to make it a little nicer. I don't really want to do anything more to that rail. So printed this battery door, and what I'll do is I'll actually drill a hole and I'll flush mount this plug in here. So then inside the battery bay, that's where the connections will be made that will adapt this plug to this. And that way, if I'm running an 11.1 volt outside of here, because I would have to anyway for a battery box, then it's not a bunch of wires hanging out, and I can't really utilize that space any other way, and it just looks nice and clean. So that's why I'll go ahead and use that. Of course, disclaimer, guys, if you're using an 11.1 on these Splatterballs and you're using them a lot, you will probably break them. Okay, I don't use these extensively for a long amounts of time, and I don't have issue with it. And it's just more fun to shoot the videos like that and show some of the cool stuff, how fast they shoot. But if you're using them all the time, it's your primary blaster, you play a lot, it's probably not a good idea. But that's all up to you, all right? I'm also going to take some little rails, like this size, just probably mount those directly to that flat spot right there, because that's a nice flat spot. And then this is a nice, these screws are too long, but I was just checking it out. This would be a nice little spot. That's for a pressure switch from like a flashlight. So that's a rail mount for the pressure switch, just so that it looks nice. So I'm going to probably find a place to put this nice big flashlight on here as well. So that's one of my other plans. Now I'm not set on this yet, but what I was thinking to do with this barrel was to widen out the end, put an inner barrel in that matches up perfect with the barrel from the blaster, and put a threaded end on it. So then I could add hop-ups, right? Because now that it's getting nicer here in Minnesota, I'll do more outside videos when I'm shooting, and then that's where you're going to see the benefit of a hop-up, because that's going to add distance, okay? Not power, but distance. So these are several different hop-ups that I have, hop-up styles, that I could go ahead and try on this. I'm just not sure if I like how it looks, kind of adding that on top of that barrel. So I might investigate some other ideas. I don't know. We'll have to see. Like I said, I don't remember how easy that comes off. I just see one screw that I put in on the top there, and I believe there's an inner piece. So we'll mess around with that. Since this rail goes up on top of this, I'll probably just leave that rail there, because cosmetically I think it'll look fine. And there would be a couple little holes that are in the blaster top anyway, so that keeps those covered. And you see I have a couple different stock options that we can use on this blaster. So that's kind of my plan, a little update on this. Also have a new battery box. I'm thinking that I will possibly mount the battery box just directly underneath this on a rail right here. But I'm not set, because I kind of did the same thing on one of my other Splatterballs, so I'm trying to think of a different way of doing it. So we'll see. A couple different grips I could use. Of course, I could go back with the same grip that I had on there, but I got some other choices too. So anyway, I will get to work on this, and hopefully it turns out cool. Got any comments or questions? Throw them down below, and of course like the videos and subscribe, and please participate in the giveaways. So I mixed it up a little bit on my Splatterball here. This was the SRB 400 sub. I've shown you before how I custom modified some Nerf stocks to fit on these. I had that receiver piece, but then kind of basically molded it to a Nerf stock that was just left over from one of my kids' guns that they didn't have anymore. So that's what we got going on there. With the red, again, YouTube seems to think that these even look too real sometimes. So I was trying to use colors that I had around, colors that obviously are going to make it obvious that this is a toy gun because I don't want anyone getting hurt as well. And I got a ton of this red paint, so that's part of it too. But anyway, I think it looks nice. I knew I wasn't going to take it apart to paint these couple little blue spots. So I thought if I did red and then the dark gray, which I'd already kind of started on it, I thought that would look nice. So one thing I had showed you in the previous build video, again, you've got this custom printed battery door. And then again, I made it so that this has a nice connection like that, right? So you got a nice auxiliary connection for your battery, and then an 11.1 volt battery fits in there. So there you go. Of course, with this one and with all blasters, just know an 11.1 volt battery can ruin your blaster, okay? So just be careful with it. If you're going to use it all the time, you're going to probably break it, okay? So take that into consideration. Otherwise, we got this 3D printed piece up here. So this is supposed to print perfect to fit. However, I really had to hollow out inside these to make it fit flush. So, it turned out fine. It was just a lot of manual work hollowing that out. Obviously, we painted the magazine, put a little 3D printed logo on there. Got a flashlight here. I put rails, so you can see that I added rails, right? So we got a flashlight here, and then I ran the cord over here for the pressure switch. So we got your pressure switch on a rail here as well. Now up front, what I did is, again, I wanted to add some hop-ups to these. So I've actually got a hop-up underneath this. So this comes off. So I was able to secure all this on here. So now you can see there's a hop-up. You can see the tongue on there. And so that red barrel actually just covers the hop-up, which is a nice feature. And when you're looking online, you'll see a lot of airsoft guns have hop-ups like this that are made to be covered up. However, this was obviously 3D printed, but these were other pieces I had around that just managed to fit perfectly. So then this can cover that hop-up, which looks a little cooler, I think, to have a nice longer barrel like that. There's still plenty of room. It's not going to affect the performance at all. So anyway, we got the battery in there. We got a new grip. We added that, added these two rails, put this up here, and then we added a sight on there as well, a nice sight and the hop up. So we're going to shoot this a little bit, and eventually I'm going to take it outside and shoot it for you outside too. So there you go. Again, a little different stock on there. Flip it over for you so you can see everything. And this started life as an SRB 400 sub. Make sure you guys are liking these. If you got any comments or questions, put them below. Be careful if you upgrade to 11.1. Just know you might ruin your Splatrball. And make sure you're subscribed and participating in the contests.